What's up? What's up? Hello. Hello. I'm just waiting for people to file in. Everything is wonderful. Thank you. I'm just tired. I ain't been getting good sleep lately. It's been 2 weeks. It hasn't been that long, but somebody said a long time no here. It's been 2 weeks. Um, Last weekend I had a guys trip, and this weekend I had some home renovations I'm doing in the basement. So I've just been really busy. I also have two jobs and two kids and a wife. So I do plan on picking up production though. I actually have a home gym coming, I think next weekend, and it's going to allow me to use my lunch breaks for writing YouTube videos instead of working out. So I'm excited about changing my work schedule and the workflow, how I do things. Thank you. I think I'm beautiful. Let me see. Yeah, I know. I need to be out in these streets. I need to be out in these streets. I will. I'll get out here a little bit more. I've just been very busy and bogged down with a lot of projects, a lot of renovations and stuff like that. I'm on the timeline right now. Hmm. So, what y'all want to talk about? I've gotten a lot of interesting emails lately. I haven't even been able to really respond to emails. That's how busy I've been. I haven't responded to any emails in about 8 days, and I was already backed up before then. The beauty about getting bigger on YouTube is that once you get to a certain I guess to a certain view count, like an average view count, then my emails pick up. And I used to take a lot of pride in getting 100% of the emails answered, but it's just not possible right now. It's not possible at all. I mean, I have my Instagram account, I get emails. I have two Gmail accounts that I'm getting emails from. One's a business account. People figured that one out. So I'm getting hundreds of emails, and it's not enough of me to go around. So if you have emailed me and you haven't gotten a response, please know that I apologize. I think that everybody is important. Every email is important, and for the people writing me, it's extremely important to them that if something happens or they find an answer or some insight into the issue. But it's just not enough of me to go around anymore. So I know my first priority is always making sure that I interact with people in the comment section, and I continue the conversations that we start in these videos. And then my second priority is helping people on an individual basis. And but again, it's just not enough for me to go around anymore. When my channel was a little bit smaller, it was nothing for me to answer 100% of the emails all the time, and just get back to everybody. And I still appreciate everybody the same. I hadn't gotten Hollywood, or no offense to people in Hollywood, but it's not enough for me to go around. I still gotta, come home and play with my babies. I still gotta, go to, my job, or sometimes my other job. My wife still needs her time. It's a lot going on. So at this moment, I'm not really responding to emails very well. Um, Somebody might get a 3-month-old response, here pretty soon, but I plan on getting back on the emails. I have to rework some things in my schedule. I think this channel grew a little bit sooner than I was expecting, and so now I have to make provisions to make sure I keep up demand and keep everybody just satisfied with what's going on. I suppose we can start this conversation. Let me see. And if I look sad, I'm not sad. I'm just tired. I'm really tired. Um, and I got like 4 hours of sleep, and like my body won't let me sleep past 11 right now. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm dealing with. And I went to sleep at like 7 in the morning. I'm a night owl. Anyway, let's get back to this. Let me see. I'm gonna try to start at the top. That first question. She said 8 days. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute, and some people haven't gotten an email. Some people haven't emailed me like a month ago or 2 months ago and still haven't gotten a response. Like I said, I get hundreds of emails. What time zone are you in? I'm in Eastern. I live in Ohio, so I guess Eastern Standard Time is the time zone I'm in, which is kind of cool for people who live on the West Coast because they're 3 hours behind us. But sometimes I'm really late for people who live on the East Coast, or who live on the Southern Coast, because I do everything late. Usually, I go live at like 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning, but I'm trying to get better at that and let everybody, at least on my side of the country, get a chance to see me. And I'm not sure, about the other world time zones. Um, how not to blow up your boyfriend's phone. Sorry, should have sent you an email. Probably shouldn't have sent me an email. I probably wouldn't have gotten to it at the moment. Like I'm too swamped. I suppose self control is how you don't blow up your boyfriend's phone. I'm not sure what your reasoning for blowing up your boyfriend's phone is, little buddy. I'm not sure what your reasoning is for blowing up your boyfriend's phone. If the reason is mistrust, then I'm not sure you can stop yourself. I'm not sure that there's a way to curve the discomfort you might feel if you're disconnected with them. I think that if you can't trust him enough to be disconnected with him, then that's a whole nother issue. But if you're just blowing him up because you're highly in love with him and you're very, very happy and you just want to be around him, I suppose your excitement will subside in time. But a little bit of self control, and talk yourself out of it, or take pride in, if it's a good relationship, just remember that before you irritate him with too many phone calls. Don't mess it up. Talk about guys on the down low. That ain't none of my business. Some of these gentlemen are yeah, they on the down low. They doing whatever they doing. But man, it don't change my life. It don't stop what I'm doing. You know, I'm married anyway, so I'm not out here. But I'm sure that the down low issue can be a problem for many of you. But I have nothing to add to that conversation. I think that uh, the only thing that I'm concerned with the download guys is the spreading of any potential diseases. As a result of them trying to be so discreet about their alternate lifestyle. But besides that, I don't care what they do. It don't mean nothing to me. Um, and try not to let it bother you, because if they went down low, they'd be dating somebody else. There's just somebody else that's not in the dating pool that you're fishing in. So I wouldn't worry about it. Happy Easter. Yeah, it is Easter. I'm not a big I'm not big on holidays. My wife gets really into it. She's made like 3 or 4 Easter baskets already, but I'm just not that's not how my mama didn't give a damn no damn about Easter or any other holiday for that matter. So that's not something I'm on. But happy Easter. When dating online, how do you know a man's true intentions? When men put they're looking for a relationship, most just want to hook up. How can you tell what a man is actually looking for? Um, uh, I would always bring it back to the content of his conversation. Again, nothing is absolute. Like, I'm sure somebody will be in the comment section when they watch this video. It's not just about that. Some guys talk a good game, and I know. But a man's, as they say, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And even if you're online, the content of a person's conversation will give you a direction as to what their intentions are. It might not answer every question. Um, it might not even be genuine. Again, you have to date with discernment. You have to love with your brain. You have to love wisely. You have to kind of outthink your opponent. The game of love is weird because it takes some strategy, and when people refuse to strategize and refuse to believe that they have to protect themselves from certain aspects of the dating, they always get hurt. So online, pay attention to what a guy's talking about, and pay attention to his level of patience. I think that's another key, is that men who want something from you, outside of love or a real relationship, will be much more impatient. um, but the thing about it is, online, guys can talk to dozens of women at once, so they can even appear patient because they're talking to multiple women at a time. Online allows you to talk to, be whoever you want, and talk to whoever you want and pretend to be. So uh, I suppose when the relationship moves offline is when you'd have a better chance or an opportunity to figure out what a person's real intentions are. But I can tell you this: if all they want is a hookup, don't give up the pussy. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say pussy. Don't give up the butt. It's early, okay, so I'm a little rough today. Don't give up no butt, and then you ain't got to worry about what his true intentions are. Because if his true intentions was to get some and discard you, then you didn't give up the butt too early, so it most likely won't happen. Some guys are really patient, but for the most part, women get played because they don't have any patience either. They don't have the same patience that they should require from men, and so when guys just want hookups, they end up getting what they want much sooner than they should. I'm not telling y'all what to do with y'all bodies. Y'all can do what y'all want, but there are consequences for every action. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So uh, online, just be careful and make sure that you're not rushing into things physically with a guy. And if that was his only intention, make sure he doesn't get what he wants. Like I said, play with the strategy. Play with the end game in mind. You want a relationship? Treat it like a relationship, not a hookup. It's gonna take me forever to get through these questions if I talk that long. Let me see. Hello. Let me see. What's this? What's up, UK, London? How y'all doing? Uh, okay. I have a lot of questions I didn't get to. Let me see. Okay, question. Why would a man follow you every day on Facebook but not call you? This is someone I've had a previous relationship with. Um, I don't know. People are conflicted, and everything can't be explained. Like there's not an answer for everything that a person might do. I think people are one of the most unpredictable creatures in the world. We can predict with decent enough accuracy how animals will behave or respond to stimulus or your action, right? Animals are predictable because they stay in a primal. They're in a primal state at all times. They don't know anything else. They don't know how to manipulate, as well as humans. But humans stay in a much more manipulative state. So you just never know what's wrong with people. Sometimes people aren't trying to manipulate you; they're trying to manipulate themselves. If a guy's stalking you on Facebook but he's not making contact, maybe he's conflicted about how he feels about you, or if you're a danger to him or not. I've liked girls before that I stayed away from. It wasn't because I didn't want them or I didn't want to attempt to make a relationship work with them. It's because I knew they were dangerous for me. Maybe they were reckless. Maybe they just were a rolling stone, as they call it. Maybe they were the type of woman that could really hurt me, and I really didn't trust her with that. So I could admire a woman from afar, but there were some women I would never touch, even though I wanted them. So maybe you present some danger to him, and so he's not moving forward on that. Maybe he's afraid. Um, how long should you go no contact, and on what basis should you take him back? If he's a fuck boy, nice to see you again. If a guy is what you would call a fuck boy, I'm not sure that you should be considering taking him back. Um, that's not a term I use a lot. It's not a term I understand completely. I assume it's a guy of low standard, low character, um, low respectability. But uh, I suppose you go low. You go no contact as long as it's necessary. Um, but again, see, no contact is supposed to include the intention of actually moving on if you don't get the desired results. A lot of people try no contact purely as a manipulation method. They try to manipulate the behavior of the person that they want to change. Everyone isn't going to change. Um, So, in no contact, you have to be willing to obviously make what you want and what you require known before the no contact period, so they know what they're on timeout for, and they have the time and the opportunity to analyze if they want to make those changes. But also, you have to really be willing to move on. It's not just supposed to be a ploy to get someone to change their behavior. It's supposed to be you preparing yourself for a future without them, and them trying to stop you before you're 100% complete with getting yourself into a mental space where you no longer need them or depend on them emotionally. So if guys a fuck boy, I hate that. That's a weird word to me, but if a guy's a fuck boy, you should probably just leave him the fuck alone. Okay. Do you? I can't. I probably. No, I can't be a sperm donor for anybody. I know this is about to. This might break some people's hearts, but I'm done having kids. I got two and I love them, but I am absolutely done. I'm out the game. and my wife probably wouldn't appreciate me, donating sperm or whatnot. Um, what happens when you are doing great work? Okay, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I'm not gonna butcher it, but that's what happens when you're doing great work. Oh, I don't know. Okay, I thought that was a question. Somebody's responding to something. My question is above. I think I got you, little bud. Um, I love your channel. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I started this channel. It was weird because I kicked myself in the ass for not starting it sooner. I wanted to start a channel like this in '08, but it just wasn't the time. I had a lot going on, but also I was a little bit afraid. I had some inhibitions about put myself out there, and I kind of wish I would have just done it. We've been so much further at this point. I probably wouldn't even have two jobs right now. I don't really need one job. I just don't like closing doors, but I'd probably be doing this full time, which is a goal, by the way. My goal is to do this full time. My goal isn't to, just do a video a week here or, every 2 weeks here. My goal is to be full time, helping people in whatever manner I can help people. I like to speak on a lot of subjects. I probably have to start some more channels. I'm passionate about a lot of things. But right now I got a full time job, and it's paying the bills and it's keeping my family secure. So that's what I'm doing. But if y'all want me to be on here more, if y'all want me to go full time, support these things that I got coming up. I got some T-shirts coming out. I got a whole T-shirt line, a love line, coming out, and you'll be able to get those on my website, girltalkwithguys.com. So if y'all want me to be more frequent and full time, support my shirt brand when it comes out. Share my videos when they come out. Get my views up, get my subscribers up. Get me enough. I need enough to support my family. Like I said, I have a very good job, so I need to replace a decent amount of income to become full time or to be full time on YouTube. But it is a goal of mine, and I haven't lost sight of that. So if y'all want to help, share my videos and buy my shit when it comes out. Back to the questions. Said me to a night owl. Yeah, I think I went to sleep at 7 last night. We're catching up on Game of Thrones in my house, so I probably watched 4 episodes of Game of Thrones last night. Okay. Uh, okay. Do you think it means anything if your ex still watches your Instagram and Snapchat stories? People have unresolved feelings about each other. I don't think that if you love somebody and they didn't do enough to betray you for you to despise them, and still sometimes if you despise somebody, you still can't erase the connection that you might have to a person. But I don't know if it means anything other than you maybe wish things were different. Uh, you know, it depends on what you broke up for. But for the most part, if somebody's still Instagram stalking you or just, watching all your stories and kind of keeping up with you, they could either hope you're doing better or worse, than you're doing. But for the most part, there will always be intrigue because they know you and you're familiar to them. And if they love you, you can't just turn that off because you had a difference of opinion or you separated. That's just not how it works at all. I have friends, I have like male friends that like I haven't spoke to in like 11 years. I still love them. I still check up on them every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? I still hope the best for them. You know, if you're really close with somebody and you really love somebody, no matter what the context of the relationship or what type of love it is, whether it's a friendship love or a brotherly love or a sisterly love or, a relationship, romantic love, if you care about somebody, you don't just turn it off because y'all not okay anymore. You know what I'm saying? Unless there was some kind of epic betrayal. But most things in life are, fall into what I call the gray area, what I call, like I made this shit up, a gray area. Um, and when shit ends like that, it's very very hard to let go of what you wished would have became of a relationship. I got comments from YouTube popping up. I can't see y'all comments. Okay, like my video comments. Okay. Hello from Lansing, Michigan. Hey, Lansing, Michigan. Chelsea, I can pronounce that. Stacy, why you left that, man? Man, I'm behind in the comments. NYC in the building. What's up? UK in the building. How y'all doing? Uh, Thanks, pink kisses. Solid. Think that would have been an emoji. Uh, Thank you. Q said, Kev, you're a smart man, great advice. I enjoy watching your videos. Very interesting. Keep doing what you do best. I appreciate you. And I'm trying, and I would like to do it full time. Like I said, share my videos and buy these shirts when they come out. Probably next week. I think these shirts will be available next week. And my next YouTube video, I'll let you know how you can get them and what to do. I might even do a giveaway. Let me see. Okay, somebody said, Hi, Kev. I feel that the men in my area of Orlando, Florida, are no good and liars. I haven't dated them all, but it just seems that way from the guys I met. Should I move on to find love? Um, I always tell people when they write me personally, if we kind of go through what they've attempted and it hasn't worked, I always remind them there are, they say there are plenty of fish in the sea, right? Well, there are other ponds, there are other lakes, streams, and seas to fish in. If for whatever reason you feel like you've exhausted your energy in a particular dating pool, there are other places. There are always more people. I keep telling y'all, there are 7 billion damn people in the world. 7 billion. 7 billion. Like there's somebody for you. There, there are probably 1,000 people for you. You know, I don't believe that. I refuse to believe that there's a person that doesn't have a match. I just don't believe that. And I'm not even a hopeless romantic. If you just talking statistics, and I am not even a mathematician either, I'm not the math guy, but just statistically speaking, there are a few dozen people for everybody. When you start looking at it. So no, I don't think that if you're done with that, if you're done with the people in Orlando, Florida, but you haven't dated them all, uh, yeah, move on to an adjacent town, or a city that's close by, or just get on the internet, find the match, the person you're looking for. I don't think that I don't agree with people kind of disregarding a particular place sometimes, though, just because you might have dated 10 or 11 people and they were all horrible experiences. You're like, oh man, the guys here suck. I just never date somebody here. The problem is there was 10 or 11 people. How many people live in Orlando, Florida? It isn't the population. I know it's one of the, it's a little bit vacant, but I know the population of Orlando, Florida is a few 100,000 to a million. Like it's got to be, I don't know, somebody's going to get on Google and then be like, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. It's a lot of motherfuckers in Orlando, Florida. So it's too many for you to not. You haven't even dated a portion of a percentage of them. So don't give up on that. But I understand you. I understand where you're coming from and the fatigue. But don't grow weary in well doing, as they say. Um, oh shit, skipped up some stuff. Um, okay. Somebody said Unicorn Bluff. That's a cool name. Somebody said a guy, Unicorn Bluff said, a guy that helped me through a lot. We broke up because I reminded him of his deceased BF boyfriend. I don't know what's going on here. A promise was made to get back together and he stopped using me. Still flirts and BF. He got a new girlfriend, meaning, listen, maybe it's because I'm 31, but I have not picked up. A boyfriend is the only BF acronym, or best friend. Oh, okay. See, look, I'm old or lame. Pick one. Um, I still don't. I still need you to clear that up for me, Unicorn Bluff. Rephrase the question. Yes, Danielle got ghosted for the first time. Yeah, people still getting ghosted. I probably get written about somebody getting ghosted. I probably get five. I got ghosted emails just in my Gmail a day alone. It's insane. Everybody's going through that. It's a thing that happens, and so we have to make better decisions and make better judgments about people when we meet them. I feel like I'm the girl that guys never take serious, but after me, they get married, engaged, have a baby, update Facebook to a relationship. What's wrong with me? Nothing. You just haven't found the person that you're supposed to be with. I think that everybody kind of goes through this thing where they feel rejected. Uh, I have a good friend. I won't say his name, but he's a social butterfly. I mean, he's probably the most popular person I've ever met. He could lead a march today for ice cream. Like that's how popular he is, right? and he always seems to do well with women. But I remember he called me one time and he was like, "Man, I don't know what's going on, but none of these relationships turn out to be anything. What's wrong with me? Like, why can't I close the deal? Why can't I actually have a girlfriend, like a real relationship? Why do I meet so many people, especially as popular as he was, and still can't have a relationship, still doesn't can't find anything real?" And this is a man, he's a stand-up man, an amazing person, and he called me in distress. And I'm like, dude, you're the most popular person I know. I wish I had the answer, but I told him what I'm telling you. Everybody kind of goes through this slump where they see people moving forward, and and people have what you have. People establish relationships that you want, and you just kind of watching people get everything you want. But it's just a phase, and if you stay the course, there is a high probability that eventually you'll find somebody that you mesh with, and as somebody who can appreciate you, for who you are genuinely. I went through the same thing. I dated, I don't know, between 18 and 20. Yeah, between 18 and 20. I don't even. I probably dated. I think I went on like I talked to like 33 women. I had a list. I was like, because I was irritated. I kind of wrote down, all of the women that I had, like, attempted a relationship with or dated. And this is me discovering who I am as a man, what type of guy I'm going to be for a woman, and, them discovering themselves too. But, between 18 and 20, and then, after a relationship, there was another period. But, I dated a lot of people and none of it turned into anything, and it feels like rejection, but it's not. It's selection. And you can't really let yourself get too down on the selection process. Every once in a while you're just going to strike out for a while. And most of the emails I get are about people's experience with striking out. Some people write me who have been single for 7 years, 10 years, 4 years, 3 years. And much of it is us. Much of it is our behaviors, our refusal to go out, our refusal to put ourselves out, our refusal to give people chances. Sometimes it's the walls that you build. Sometimes it's just like, just life. It's just luck. So try not to get too down on yourself, but just stay the course, stay in the game, and continue to date people, continue to be your best. I wish I had a magic answer for you, but there's just, I don't know your situation in particular. So I'm sorry about that. Okay, somebody had a question. Said, I'm talking to someone who just got out of a relationship. We've been on dates. We talk a lot. We have a very long, intimate conversations. But when do you know they healed? Okay, so you've been talking to a person who just got out of something serious and maybe ended badly, and you want to know that they're ready before you step in and kind of start a relationship with them. You don't want to be a rebound. You don't want it to be temporary, and you want to know that they're healthy enough mentally and emotionally to deal with a new relationship. That's a tough one because there are people who seamlessly move through relationships and they're never really ready. There are some serial daters out there who do a great job at pretending to be ready, pretending to um, you know just be okay with the status of their old relationships, and it's not always true. I got I watched my mom, like, I love my mom, but my mom was kind of a serial dater. You know what I mean? I don't and there was a point in my childhood where I felt like she just replaced the guy. She didn't really take the time to get over whatever it was that she was dealing with, as far as her relationship disappointments. And I've had friends and other family members do the same thing. Some people just hop in and out of relationships. And so uh, the problem with that is, again, you don't know when someone's healed. I think that the best you have is letting someone's actions speak for them. Making sure, obviously, they're not Facebook and Instagram stalking their ex. That's probably a start. But again, if you're playing detective, they're probably not ready. But that's something that you just have to trust. I would give it time, but I suppose when that person asks you to change the status of your relationship, is the best indicator, because when they're ready, maybe they'll push the envelope on, or push the issue as far as making something real with you. But I wouldn't rush that person, and I would kind of let someone who's going through the healing process make the decision about moving the relationship forward, and that way you're not put in a position where you asked for something and they attempted to give it to you, but they couldn't, and they were unavailable. They were really emotionally unavailable. Um, so yeah, you got to let them make that call, because they're in a vulnerable position, and you don't want to be a victim of this circumstance. Let me see. Okay, somebody said, when we argue, why doesn't he consider what he can change or did to me to become upset? It says to me misunderstanding, but says it's a misunderstanding. Said when we argue, he doesn't consider what he can change or did for me to become upset, but says it's me misunderstanding, and then wants me to stop being upset. Um, See, that's a tricky one, because the camera's shaking because I'm on my dining room table. But that's a tricky one, because it seems as though he's not considering, where you're coming from or your perspective, but also that maybe you're not explaining your perspective as well, or there's an attempt on his part to confuse your perspective and to corrupt it. So that could be him trying to manipulate you into taking shit you probably shouldn't be taking. It could be a control, an attempt for him to control you, and how you perceive his wrong actions. It could be a misunderstanding in the fact that, or he doesn't really understand what is causing you to be upset. Sometimes women, at least in the relationships that I've had, in my life, I've noticed that sometimes women give you the emotional reaction and maybe a physical manifestation of how they feel, a verbal, some kind of verbal act or something like that, but they don't actually explain what's wrong. They feel like their temper change should be enough. Like because they're mad, you have to know, and they don't do a very good job of explaining how to avoid, getting that reaction from him. So I'm not sure what the issue is with. You might have to be more specific, but I I would say that somebody who repeatedly and consistently doesn't consider why you might feel that way, or how they're affecting you. Um, I'm not gonna say they're not for you, but um, I wouldn't put up with that if I've done everything to express, the issues that I'm having with a person. So maybe it's not you misunderstanding. If you're not misunderstanding, and this person is just, giving you bullshit, or trying to get you to put up with shit you don't want to put up with, then you have to have a conversation, or decide what you are willing to go through to be in this relationship. But again, it's such a it's so that's such a vast subject, because you could be misunderstanding, they could be trying to manipulate you, or they could just be assholes who don't care about your feelings. And I don't know the relationship, so I can't really pinpoint what it is, but I've been misunderstood before. And you know um, I've seen women get really, really upset, and you never know what's wrong with them, because they're not very good at expressing themselves. And then you get a letter uh, a month later. Hey, remember that thing I was pissed off at? This how it made me feel. Well, why didn't you just write me a letter that day? Because you clearly didn't verbalize it very well, and you going about it that way. So um, it's old relationship shit, but I don't know what to tell you because I don't know what your issue is, and I'm sorry. Um, but when shit's right and what's wrong. If somebody's trying to get over on you, and don't take shit just because somebody tries to convince you that you don't know that you're upset, or you don't know what's wrong. Okay, you skipped my question. Sharon, I skipped your question. I'm sorry. Let me see. How you score your boy? I don't even think I don't. Did I skip your question? Okay, I'm not even sure I've seen it. Um, Ask it again, Sharon. I'll get to it. What's up with my question, Kevin? Paul, Powell. God, here I am butchering names again. P. Patrick said, "What's up with my question? Did I skip it? I don't know if I got it. Just write it again. It's too hard on the internet. I'm so tired. Yeah, the internet dating game is really weak. Is really cumbersome. Is really daunting. I understand. Um, how do you spoil your boyfriend even though he doesn't want anything? I have no clue. You would have to know the desires of that guy, and I don't know what that guy really wants, so I can't answer that question. I failed to find a true love because they need sex before marriage, which I don't want. I'm 23 years of age. Every guy doesn't want sex before marriage. Women don't realize this, and I suppose for good reason. A lot of guys want sex before marriage, and it makes women think that that there's no one out there who can respect their abstinence. But I'm telling you, man, uh, I know some great guys. They say birds of a feather flock together. So I don't hang around no dudes that see women as purely sexual objects. See women purely as sexual objects. And man, every one of my friends, they were in relationships now. But when we were coming up, man, we respected the girl who was a virgin. We were looking for virgins. We wanted a girl who had the same morals and values that we had. You know, and not that we were all virgins, but we can respect the person's self-control and the person's willingness to endure whatever comes with being a virgin, especially getting up into getting older, past college age. um, Man, whoever you end up with is going to be extremely happy that they're the only man that can say they conquered you. So there's somebody out there for you, trust me. And he's probably going to be the type of guy that you want because he'll probably be a little bit less sex crazed than you're used to, uh, and he might be a man of higher character because of it. Um, I just liked your video because you fine. Appreciate it. Somebody said, okay, Sharon said I skipped her question. If you write it again, I get to you. Um, Come on and do a mini tour in London, like a night with Kev. A lot of ladies will buy tickets and spend a couple hours listening to your advice on men. Hey man, I might end up doing it one day. I've known other YouTubers, in this niche to do it, and that's cool. When I can shake loose, from my 1 year old and 3 year old, and I might give it a shot, but it might be a while because young children are just a lot to handle. Um, let me see. Was ghosted and blocked, still in shock and confused, and do not understand what happened. He was the first guy I tried to give a chance after being with only one man for the last 20 years. He seemed perfect. Yes, some people put on a really good front, but again, you have to make sure that you're not making false equivalencies and giving people credit for character that they don't have because you hope it is so. You know what I'm saying? Some guys are awesome, but let them earn their credit and and their discredits. And sometimes when we really like somebody and we're hoping they're as perfect as we thought they were, we overlook things. Not that you did, but it's something to keep in mind. A guy that has been seeing the same lady for 13 years is telling me he'll walk away. He'll walk away from me. So am I that special? No, his relationship is that weak, and he might be uh, that low on integrity. It could be any one of those things. A guy who's willing to leave his long-term relationship with you for you isn't leaving his woman for you. He's leaving that. He's looking for a reason to get away from that relationship, and that could be a good or a bad thing for you because eventually you'll get on his nerves. And what will he do to get away from you? Who will he pin that on? Who will he leave you for? Who will he use as his escape route? So I don't take any pride in a woman wanting to leave her man for me, especially when I was dating. And I wouldn't take very much stock in a guy willing to leave his woman for you because it doesn't mean that you're that special. It could just mean his woman is the relationship is just weak. and he's looking for a way out. You'll be that, but you'll only be that. It's not because he's so committed to you um, all the time. Sometimes it is. Sometimes true love blossoms out of a cheating spouse, but unlikely. Uh, AKA public information only end up in absolute. Hey man, listen. Somebody said, "I'm sorry, I disagree," and I'm not sure what answer they're disagreeing with. But listen, I that's cool. Like we're independent thinkers. We're having a conversation. Okay. It does not bother me that somebody agrees with me or disagree. I'm not trying to, and this is a point I've been wanting to kind of make. A lot of times I get comments from people that say, "Hey, I completely agree with you," and then it's a comment, or "I disagree with you," and then it's a comment. And I get it. It's kind of the structure of conversation, but I'm not necessarily here so that people can agree with me or disagree. You know, um, I don't mind when people disagree with me. I want the engagement. I want the conversation. If you agree with everything I said, then I just gave you your perspective. Like at some point, I want you to experience a new perspective from me, or an angle on an issue that you haven't seen. I don't do this so that my ego can be stroked and somebody can always agree with me. I don't mind people disagreeing with me because I want the engagement. I want the conversation. Out of the conversation comes real good solutions. Much better solutions than somebody standing on a pedestal, saying everything because they think they're smart and everybody's just listening to them as subjects. You don't have to agree with me for me to appreciate you. And so I'm not here trying to preach. I just want to offer my perspective, and hopefully, if it's something that you haven't considered, it can be of some help to you. But it doesn't matter if you agree with me or disagree. I appreciate you for watching me. I appreciate you for engaging, and really bouncing ideas off and having this conversation. Well, thank you. Somebody said, "Wow, this chat is very nice." Okay, MG Steffens 216 says 5 years in prison and never kicked his junk habit. I encourage young ladies to research public information before entering any relationship. Yeah, just somebody saying research public information. Definitely, if you want, do your due diligence, do your Googles on somebody because you never know. And everybody's record is public. Everybody. Okay. My comments are skipping around. I'm trying to get to everything, but I'm so damn long-winded that I'd be like 10 comments back. Let me see. Um, I did a video on online dating. I suppose Jay Renee, uh, take a look at that video. Uh, if you have a very particular question about online dating, leave it in the comment section of that video. My Google Gmail is just it's flooded right now, and I probably won't see it. But I do make sure I try to excuse me. I try to respond to comments. Just keep the question under like 100 words. Some people I've got 9-page emails, uh, a lot. Like people, I don't have 2 hours to go through, a person's life with them, and I'll attempt it. I'll read the email, but if you're writing that much, it's because you're not necessarily making your point, and so uh, try to keep it short and or keep it short enough that being considerate of other people just need their comments and stuff looked at. But um, if the online dating question is more specific, write it in that comment section, and I always respond to comments. Um, hmm, Somebody say, is he using a green screen or is it CGI? CGI? I'm not sure what's going on there. Uh, okay, do you think that friends with benefits could transform their relationship into a profound love? They have been friends for 11 years. It could, but if somebody's been friends with you for 11 years, and I'm not sure how many years ago the benefits kicked in, uh, most likely they've explored the potential in their head of a relationship with you, and for whatever reason they've decided against it. I'm not sure it takes uh, that long, but again, there will be somebody in the comment section that says, "Oh, and I was friends with somebody for 20 years, and then we got married, and and we had benefits for 7." I don't know. I guess it depends on the content of your relationship, the depth of your relationship, the reason why you haven't already attempted a relationship. If it's something like he was already married and you were respecting that relationship and everything was cool, and then he recently got divorced, and now y'all, are fooling around and it's becoming something more, then of course it can become a real relationship. But if you've been available for years at a time and you've just had benefits, it's because that person, for whatever reason, doesn't not necessarily see your value, or but they've decided that that's your use, and it's the safest position for you to be in emotionally with each other. And so a lot of times they don't become more, because a person has already determined how far they want to go with you, before they enter the friends with benefits situation. Usually, when I was dating, if I laid down with a woman, I knew exactly where the relationship was going. Whether it was just me laying down with her, or whether I was willing to explore more. And in a friendly relationship, and a lot of times you keep it at friends with benefits because you want to remain friends. You're not looking to muddy the water by trying to connect emotionally on that level. So I don't know. Um, you'd have to give me a few more details. Again, if you go to did I do a friends with benefits video? I don't think I did one. I might have to do a friends with benefits video. I'll do that soon, and then you can write me in the comment section. We'll talk about it. She said, "Is this TV show paid or free? Can I ask them questions?" Huh? Weird. Now, what's your zodiac? I'm a Libra. Thank you for taking my question. Okay. Let me see. Um, Somebody said, I work on a boat 28 days at a time and home for 14 days. Long term relationship. Do you think it's possible to make it work? Uh, just starting the relationship? It's possible. Uh, I think this is the best time you got, the best chance you got to have a successful relationship, because you're building the connection in a non-physical way. You're building the mental connection. You're building the emotional connection. Um, if a person can be faithful to you when you're not in the room, and a person can crave you and want you when you're away, and you can want to talk to that person, and you can exchange thoughts and ideas and emotional dependence with that type of distance, it kind of builds the foundation for a better relationship overall. So I do believe that um, there's a chance that the relationship can work, and I believe that this is a very, very good time to develop the building blocks that actually form the base or the foundation of a relationship. So yes, it could work, and this is the best time to do that. To build something deeper than a physical connection. Because most of the time, the first few months of a relationship are just people really jumping into bed a lot. And sometimes you have to slow down to start building emotionally with somebody, or spiritually with a person. But because of the distance, you'll have to build spiritually and emotionally and mentally first. Um, and while you might connect physically, it's going to be much more of the opposite. So, yeah, you have a very good chance of making this work, and good luck to you. And those boat jobs pay very well. So congratulations. Shit ain't for me though. When is it time to leave a relationship truly? I think I did a video, when to move on. I might have done another video similar. Scour my videos. I think I might have covered that subject. Sometimes I can't remember if I answered something in an email or wrote a video and did a video, because the email responses I give are as long as the original email itself. I always sit down and give people all the time they need. Sometimes I sit down for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and write people back, and which is a reason why I can't get back to everybody, because I don't like to shortchange people. But scour my videos. I think I've done a when to move on, or yeah, when to move on when you love someone. I think that was a video. And so scour my videos, and check that one out, and see if that one doesn't answer your questions. Um, Some of the questions are self-explanatory, yeah, but people aren't necessarily asking, me questions because I'm all knowing, and they need the answer. Some people are asking me questions because they already inherently know what they want and know what they need to do in their heart, and they're just looking for confirmation. Some people watch YouTube for information, and others watch for clarity. Others watch for confirmation of their own ideas. Yeah, most people don't watch to be challenged, and so that's why most people. That's how people pick what they watch on YouTube. If they feel like they're being challenged sometimes, then they don't watch. So it's weird dealing with people in that way. But yeah, some of the questions are self-explanatory, but most people already know inherently what they want to do. They're just hoping that I confirm in their heart. I confirm what their heart's desire is already. Um, I think somebody said it's just very hard. I think too many people give too many people too many chances. Focus on yourself by doing positive things for yourself. People are only human, and that's it. Jamily has a great point. Uh, Thank you, A Holder. I'm extremely grateful that you're watching. Yeah, I'm live, baby. Let me see. Check out long distance relationship video as well. Yeah, I did a long distance video relationship for the person that is on the boat 28 days out of the month, or 28 days and 14 hour your fishing schedule is, or boat schedule. I did a long distance video, long distance relationship video. You should check it out. Yeah, somebody keeps asking about if it costs money to send me a question right now. No, I'm live. It doesn't cost any money. Super chat's a thing. I've never received one, but no, you don't have to send a super chat. You don't have to pay. There's an option to pay, and that's just for people who really, really appreciate what's going on and have it to give. Most people don't, and so when you see that, you see the little money sign. Don't be confused and think that you have to pay to ask me a question. That's just if you're trying to donate to the cause, or to the conversation, and and have a positive impact. The super chat also lets your comment stay at the top of my screen for a lot longer, so I can't miss your comment because it's highlighted and it just sits there at the top of the screen. That's what that money sign is for. But no, it's YouTube. It's free. You can write a question and I'll answer it anyway. Um, until my family wakes up and I got to get the hell out of here. But right now everybody's I think still asleep, so we good because like I said, we night owls. Um, how do you know how to choose the right man when you date when you like two guys? I don't know. I suppose that you have to measure what you want and what you need from a man. I think I've been meaning to do a video about that. Um, people always people seem to date the person who has the things that they want, and they assume that the needs will come, and that's kind of backwards. So if you're dating two guys, what needs to be in a relationship for you to ultimately be happy? Many times it's different than the things you want. A woman might want a certain type of swagger. A woman might want um, a certain personality profile, a certain way of being. She might want a guy with a little bit of edge. She might want a guy that's a little rough around the edges, that talks a certain way, that walks a certain way. You want those things, but what do you need to be happy in a relationship? Women often go for the things that they're most attracted to, and I don't know why. And I know somebody's gonna say, "Well, attraction don't matter." You don't get it. Does matter because you're not just attracted to physical stuff. Sometimes women are attracted to mental cues and things of that nature. But is that what keeps you happy in a relationship? Is that what will sustain a relationship for you? If you're dating two guys or you're trying to choose between two guys, who has the qualities that you need? Who has the qualities of the type of man that you need to be happy? Who can make you happiest? Not who can make you most attractive, not who make you feel the luckiest for the time. Who has the qualities that a relationship is built on. And so if you're dating two guys, whoever can sustain a relationship with you by actually performing the job of a man to his woman should be the one you pick, not the one with the nicer car or the one who is sexier or the one who has a bigger thing. If you're jumping into bed with him, I don't know what the hell you're doing, but pick the one who can sustain a relationship. Hmm. Um, everybody else. Uh, I know I'm skipping around now. Somebody gonna be mad. I know I didn't get all my. How can you tell if you're the other woman? Just curious. Oh man, I might have to do a video on that one. that one's a lot to explain because anything I say can and will be taken literal, and sometimes we're just throwing out ideas. But dealing with the psychology of people, there are a lot of cues and a lot of miscues. So and then there's some ambiguity about how different people respond to being immoral and betraying everyone doesn't have the same level of consciousness and a conscience. Some people are a little bit sociopathic, so you can't always tell. But I'll do a video on somebody being the other woman, how you can maybe tell. How do you feel about women dating men only if they have money? One YouTuber said it's a choice. What do you think? I think people like what they like. People know what they require. I don't think that you ever get if your relationship is a business decision, you'll never have the quality of relationship that you're looking for. But if it's a business decision, then you approaching it as a business. Um, so you get what you pay for, and you kind of get what you shop for. So I don't think that I don't think that women who only date men with money are inherently any worse than other women. I just think they realize that that's a requirement for them to be have a certain baseline of happiness or contentment. But at the same time, whenever you date someone and it's a business decision, you get what you pay for, and you just do. So make sure that the guy has a little bit of integrity if you want a certain amount of money or a certain lifestyle. But like I said, that ain't none of my business. All I know is, eventually you'll be writing someone like me on YouTube trying to figure out how to get your cheating rich husband to treat you a little bit better. Not that all rich men are scoundrels; they're not. But like I said, if you do things for the wrong reasons, usually you get the wrong results. This shit should be on a T-shirt. Um, Steve Harvey had someone on his show ask a question about how she can keep up her body and keep up her body build. Man, she was plus size. Keep her body building, man, and she was plus size. Should we as women change our looks for a partner? Okay. The issue about keeping yourself up is a touchy one because most people shun any responsibility that they have to that subject. It's like a woman that wants certain things from a guy, and if he doesn't provide those things, there are 50 women who will tell him, "Girl, if he don't do it," or "Girl, somebody else will." There's an infinite amount of video evidence that this is the things that women say to themselves. "Girl, if he don't want to do it, what's the shit that they say? He better do what he got uh, to get you to keep you, or if he's not gonna do it, some other man will." And there's a slew of these sentiments that the women throw to each other, but it seems like when they're thrown back at women, it's your man is a shallow pig dog chauvinist. Listen, on this channel, like it seems as though I usually take the women's side, and for the most part I do, but I have never shunned the responsibility that a woman has to be a woman to her man, and I don't believe in that. And so again, this is a guy's perspective. This channel is about how to connect better with the guy, how to get better results with the guy. So I'm not giving you a feminized man's opinion of women or how other men are. I'm giving you a man's opinion. And when it comes to keeping yourself up, if you were a certain size when the guy got with you and that's what he was attracted to, you have no right to talk about how he needs to keep up what he's doing. If he needs to keep buying flowers, keep being romantic, keep taking you out, keep you excited, keep you entertained, and you not keeping your body up. This is where the dislike button is. Hit that motherfucker. But as a guy, whatever it is that you're attracted to, and or as a woman, no one gets to tell you if you should think that the thing is important or not. You don't get to decide if he should like a certain body type, if he liked your body type because you were that thing. If you fit the profile of something and you got with a man and you married him, you don't get to change it because he should love you regardless. If it's out of your control, he should love you regardless. But if it's because you're just being lazy or you're just shunning any responsibility that you have as a woman to keep your man happy, then I think you're just wrong for that. So I'm not saying that women who haven't kept their body up are inherently wrong. Or I'm just saying that if you know what your man's attracted to, you don't get to complain if you fall outside of that and he's less attracted to you. You know, men are visual creatures. We know that. You can call them dogs, you can call them chauvinists, you can call them pigs, you can call them stupid, you can call them whatever you want to. But if you know your man's attracted to a certain body type, whether that's big or small, some men love a big fine woman, and that's what they want. You lose too much weight, you start looking sucked up to them, they don't want you. Vice versa. Some men like a skinnier woman. So whatever your body type, your profile is, if a guy is interested in that, and you cooking and you cleaning, you're having sex, and you keeping yourself up when you get him, and he marries you or he commits to you in some way, and then you decide, well, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't think that's fair. And so most women would tell you, don't change your body for a guy. You shouldn't have to do that for no man. It's bullshit. And that's why these women are writing me, and they're having relationship problems because they don't think that they have any responsibilities. There's an endless conversation on the internet about what a real man does. A real man should this. A real man should that. A real man makes plans. A real man is the real man conversation is dried up, but it's genuine and it's accurate. There's no conversation about what a real woman should be doing, but there should be. And because that responsibility has been shunned for so long, I get a lot of emails. So as far as the keeping yourself up, you don't have to be a bodybuilder. You don't have to be. You don't have to work yourself to death. You don't have to lose any weight. I don't want you to do anything any differently than what you were doing when he was attracted to you initially and when he initially committed to you. Just be that person that he committed to. That's your basic responsibility. No matter if he's a bodybuilder or if he's a guy who doesn't work out at all, just be who you were when you met him, and that's his responsibility to you as well. Be the same man or be the same woman you were, especially physically. Give people that same image of you. It's just fair. Okay, Libras believing in fair. Yeah, Libras. Somebody said Libras believe in being fair. You damn right. And I just said that it's just fair. Just be fair. Require the same things of yourself that you would require of him. Okay. Yeah, any talk show that tells you you don't have to lose weight for no man, or he's a good man, he's paying the bills, or he's supporting you, or he's helping you through school, or you helping him through school. Y'all been a team, and then all of a sudden, some talk show hosts tell you that you don't have to lose weight for no man. My ass, my whole ass, my entire ass. That's bullshit. Do what you did to get him to keep him, and he should do the same for you. Okay. Wisdom Felice says, a guy that I'm interested in is depressed. I decided to send a motivational quote every day and call every other. I'm also afraid of friend zoning myself. I'm also afraid I'm friend zoning myself. I don't know in the future should I pull back in the future. I don't know. I think that people wisdom Felice, I think that people remember those who were with them through tribulation. And so, if somebody's going through a hard time, most of the time people avoid the person that's having trouble in life. It's just more comfortable. Most people don't want to be emotionally accosted by someone's issues, and the fact that you're sending that person motivational quotes, and you're calling and you're checking up on them isn't going unnoticed. You're probably one of the few people doing that, and so I'm not sure what the potential of a romance is for you because I don't know, how y'all interact, but I tell you, a person who helps me when I'm down will never be forgotten. A person who helps me without cause, I can't overlook that. And so I think that it's the quickest way to get somebody's loyalty is to be loyal to them when you have no reason to be, or when you stand out because no one else is. So I'm not sure if I will pull back the motivational quotes. Maybe you are friends on yourself, but uh, stepping back wouldn't help you in that case. If you're close to the friend zone, not sure much there's much else you can do besides allow your attractions to manifest themselves in a more sexual way. And I'm not talking about being having sex with that person. I'm talking about getting into a seduction mode. Uh, Somebody had suggested a book to me. I had already read it, but the art of seduction is a really good book to read if you find yourself in a friend zone. Because seduction isn't just about physicality; it's about sometimes it's mental, sometimes it's spiritual, sometimes it's emotional. Seduction is a lost art. Most people do it in their nature; they do it naturally. But you can learn, how to use your gifts to seduce and get more of what you want. But again, I'm no soothsayer. I just like to, pick up literature and read every now and then. But read the art of seduction or listen to the audiobook. I think the audiobook's really interesting. The guy has a really cool voice that he uses when he's reading these audiobooks by Jeff Green, I think. I think dude's name is Jeff Green, the author that wrote that. He also wrote the 48 Laws of Power, the 50th Law. He's got a lot of books like that. So read the Art of Seduction, and maybe it can help you with the friend zone thing. But keep supporting that person if they need support right now. How do you know when you so Q? I'm not gonna try to pronounce your last name. Sorry. Say, how do you know when you meet your twin flame? What are your thoughts about twin flames? Um, I'm not going to pretend to be like super versed on twin flames. I have a Pinterest account, KevHick24 on Pinterest. If you're on Pinterest, please follow me and share my pins. But I have a few pins on twin flames, and I think that there's something to the idea of twin flames. But just like what's that? Soulmates, just like the concept of soulmates. People always think they're twin flames when things are great, and then when shit starts falling apart, we ain't twin flames no more. So uh, it's it's something to consider. And most of the time, I think the twin flame thing is it happens on a more spiritual level. So again, I do believe in it, but I believe it's also often misinterpreted. So be careful with that. But uh, I don't know. I don't know enough to give you a full analysis or breakdown about twin flames and things of that nature. But I'll look into it. I'll educate myself, and then I'll come back to you and tell you all about the twin flames. Um, let me see. Let's say I think you should do video on friends with benefits. Yeah, I think I Chi Chi mate, Shy mate. I'm probably killing your little name. My bad. I do need to do a video on friends with benefits. I think I did a video on the friend zone, not friends with benefits. Check out the friend zone video if you haven't. Um, First video I saw of yours, I totally pegged you as a Libra. Astro has some truth in that line, 100% straight up figured you were a Libra. Yeah, sometimes it's more obvious than not. Oil boat, Gulf of Mexico. Okay, so you getting oil money. Hey, congratulations, David. Congratulations. You made it. Just don't get blown up. That shit gets dangerous. Shit gets really dangerous. You work for BP. Hope you don't work for BP. Let me see. Um, I agree. It is bullshit. Keep your shit together. Yeah, yeah. I guess when people say certain trigger words, it blocks the comment and I have to approve it. So somebody said the word bullshit. I don't even think I did that. I think YouTube decided that they couldn't say that, but I just showed it. It's cool. Um, I'm a demisexual. I can't sex with somebody without a deep connection. I don't think that's stunning brown. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think if most people were demisexuals, the world would be a lot better off. Um, again, I'm not trying to tell y'all what to do with y'all bodies. I'm just saying that if people had more legitimate connections before they slept with each other, then we'd have a lot less missing fathers in the homes. A lot less broken women and men running around here feeling used and abused and discarded. So yeah, I think that demisexual is a decent way to be. I'm sure that you know you, there's levels to that shit. So I'm not saying that casually it's probably serious with you, but at the same time, I think that the idea in and of itself is not a bad one. I think it can be a healthy way of living. Okay, somebody said, I'm talking to this guy, and when we see each other, he talks a lot. What does that mean? He doesn't really ask me any questions, but he talks just about himself. He just talks about himself. Okay, so you're talking to this guy. He's very talkative, but he doesn't seem to be very interested in you. He's just spewing shit. He might end up with a YouTube channel one day. Um, I went through a phase where when I was discovering how I relate to women, I did the same thing. I knew that, like, I've always had a way with words. It's always been a gift of mine. I can talk. I can talk my way into or out of anything. The only problem with that is that sometimes you start talking because you realize how it affects people, and if you're a very good talker, you like the reaction that you get to saying whatever it is that you believe in your heart. And the problem is that in dating, I've messed up some dates, especially very young, just learning how I relate to women again. I've messed up a lot of dates, just talking about myself, and I thought I was impressing them. I thought I was showing them how deep I was, and how fucking above the bug line I was, and I was really just talking about myself. They seemed interested, so they listened and listened and listened, and then I never got a call back, or I never went on a second date with him, or I got feedback that yeah, he was so awesome, but he just talked about himself. He didn't appear to be interested in me, and I don't think it could have been further from the truth. I didn't know how, in being nervous and wanting to impress somebody. Uh, there was a time in my dating life when I was very young that I didn't realize that I was actually putting them off with that. I thought I was impressing them. A man is basically qualifying himself to you when he talks too much, and so it's a good thing. I think in knowing that he's just trying, in knowing that he's most likely trying to qualify himself to you and make himself seem great to you, so you will like him. Uh, I think a part of it is up to you if you're aware of that. Just let him know that he's like it's not necessary. I'm like tell him, kind of ease his discomfort by letting him know that hey, you have a chance here. Don't fuck it up talking too much. Find a playful way to say it, or reveal that your intentions with him aren't to disappear. And sometimes making a guy a little bit more comfortable, and letting him know that you're not just gonna disappear, that you're actually interested in him, will calm him down and slow him down, and then he'll talk to you a little bit more about you. But he's probably just trying to impress you, and he knows that he usually affects people a lot when he talks, and some girls like it, so you get kind of used to it. I know for every girl that never called me back or didn't like me because I talked too much about myself when I was like 18, shit, three or four, called and was like, talk, just talk. Like they would call me and just tell me to talk. So you get mixed reaction from talking too much. He probably just doesn't know that it's not a thing that you're into. So ease him. Just let him know. Are you into polygamy? No. Well, my wife watches a bunch of that stuff on TV, and so I check it out. I think it's pretty interesting. I don't think it's inherently evil or bad or sinful. Most of the Bible consists of some type of form of polygamy. If you're into that sort of thing. Fun fact: my bio dad, who I don't know, never seen him face to face. I'm familiar with him, and I've talked to him on the phone like once. Um, uh, it said that he had six wives, and when my mom found out, she was already pregnant with me, and he invited her to be his seventh wife, and that's why she got rid of him, and that he's not in my life anymore. He had some pretty radical beliefs, but he didn't reveal to her that he had multiple wives at the time that she was dating him until she got pregnant with me, and that's when he revealed that she would be one of six if she chose to, or one of seven. So I'm not into polygamy, but I'm not inherently against it. I just think that it muddies the waters of the legal family structure, and so that's why it's probably illegal in America. But if somebody wants to date a million people, or sleep with seven, or marry four, I don't give a damn. Hi, Kevin. Why is he not communicating, not asking my last name? He probably hadn't thought to ask you your last name. So I mean, guys don't work the same as women. Women are very, very detail oriented. Sometimes guys are just happy to be there. Um, Somebody said, "Are you married or in a relationship?" Yes, I'm married. Do you have difficulties, or can you follow your own advice? Yeah, in most cases, I can follow my own advice. The thing about relationships is like people who give relationship advice or who start these conversations aren't inherently experts. It's easier to judge things as a third party than it is when you're immersed in something. And so it's not that these guys that you watch on YouTube, and I don't know the names, but these guys that you watch on YouTube aren't inherently perfect at relationships. Some of them are single. Most of them are single. Uh, I'm not. That doesn't mean I'm any better. But uh, people who give advice just find it easier to watch the world as a third party. And I think that sometimes what they say hindsight is 2020. Perspective, the third eye or the third perspective has to be pretty close to 2020 because you have a neutral investment in the result of what occurs in that situation. So yeah, I follow my own advice, but that doesn't mean I'm perfect or I do everything right. Um, but the things that I've made videos about, I think I pretty well have together. But I don't have everything. I don't have every answer. I don't have it, 100% together. I don't think anyone really does. And so we're just kind of sharing the space to create some clarity for people who are a little bit worse off than us. That's it. Sometimes people can use their perspective to help you, but it doesn't mean that someone can't help them, with another problem. Kissed him on the cheek. He got upset and asked me why not kiss on the lips. What was that about? He just wants more from you. He wants a more physical manifestation. He wants a more physical manifestation of your enjoyment or your feelings for him. But you may or may not be willing to get that to him. So that really don't got anything to do with you. He has to be comfortable with what you're comfortable giving to him. I'm gonna try to get through some of these questions quick because I feel like the family's about to wake up. Um, but that's what a lot of men do, constant comparisons to other women, and they try to treat you less than. I look for myself. I'm a larger woman, but I still don't feel like I measure up somehow. And see, I'm trying to figure out. I don't have the whole context there. But yeah, when men are visual and people only, and just people in general, they will always make the comparisons because people are always looking to fill in the blanks. They're looking for some familiar, uh, you know, a familiar a space to be in, a familiar place to judge things from. And so you can't really hate people or fault people for making comparisons. Uh, that's kind of the nature of people. But again, like I said, there's 7 billion people in the world. If every person in the world won't compare you unfavorably to another person, and you don't necessarily have to measure up to anybody's comparisons. You just have to be everything that you are, and so I'm not sure where you were going with that, but as far as you don't feel like you measure up, I would ask to what is your standard of measure? What are you trying to measure up to? And how much of that can you control? And if you can control something or change something, whatever it is, if you can make a self improvement to help you feel better about not measuring up, then do so. Um, Somebody said third date area met online, but want to know how to get them. Want him to get him to open up without you forcing it. We only go out on Fridays. I'm not sure why you only go out on Fridays. You've been to his house, can't figure him out. I think some guys just aren't very good at expressing themselves, especially verbally. Some people who have trouble expressing themselves verbally are very, very good at writing things down. So I don't know, maybe try to or start a little letter. I think the letter writing can be romantic, and sometimes it can be much more revealing. I used to have a girlfriend that couldn't really express herself verbally, so she would always write anytime she would write me anytime she had something important to say or something that would touch her emotionally. She didn't want to say it verbally because she maybe she would break down or maybe she just would lose the words. But she was an elegant writer, eloquent writer, so she would always write me these beautiful letters and poems and things of that nature. And so I got to know her in that way, even though she was not the type of person to share emotional energy at all, otherwise. So maybe you could start a little chain letter and see if you can, get some of the things that you're looking for. It's just a thought. Maybe he won't, but you haven't tried it. I'm going to get off here in a minute. Let me see. You told me that a woman is pregnant. Okay, A Holder said I had a long distance relationship for over 3 years, for over a year and 3 months, and he told me that a woman is pregnant for him since he won't leave me alone. He just found out the child is not his and wants to continue where we left off. I don't know. If you have a long distance relationship and he's getting people pregnant on the side, you probably can't trust him. A Holder also says he doesn't seem to understand that the foundation of our relationship is ruined. How can I get him to see that? You don't really have to see it. If you can't trust him and you can't find comfort in being with him, it doesn't really matter what it doesn't matter if he understands it or not. If he's getting women pregnant on the side, all that matters is the stability that you gain from either leaving him or moving on. I don't think that it's his like it's not up to him. And I think that you're trying to get him to understand something that he understands, uh, but he also understood that he probably shouldn't get women pregnant on the side, and he did that anyway. So, like, I don't think that's your problem that he doesn't understand. Robert Greene, thank you. I always want to call Robert Greene Jeff Green. I read a lot of Robert Greene books, and Robert Greene is amazing. And so I really love the way his books are structured. And he always goes with this one narrator. If you have to audiobook anything, the narrator does a really good job of creating the emotional intent behind the words in the book. So Robert Greene, all his stuff is very, very good with helping people learn how to relate to people better. He writes it from kind of a sinister perspective. It seems a little bit wicked how he's writing it, but none of this stuff is inherently wicked. It's all pretty playful how he lets the information come across, especially if you're listening to an audiobook. Um, mm, I can't call people, but I do have a what's. I do have. I'm on WhatsApp. I think that's what it's called. WhatsApp. And maybe I'll start doing some giveaways here where I actually talk to some people on the phone. I'll figure that out. I got a Patreon. I set a Patreon up, and that was going to be one of the things I did was for less than so amount of money, a very nominal fee. I was going to allow people to speak to me on the phone and things of that nature if they were contributing to my Patreon account. But I do not have. Damn, something in my throat. I don't have the time for it at the moment, but maybe I get my Patreon up and we can start doing phone conversations. But I do have a WhatsApp app. I don't really use it, but maybe I'll start using that and start connecting with people on a deeper level. But right now, I don't have it. Let me see. Okay, I've been friend zoned after getting closer intimately with the guy that I had met. I did feel like he compared me to other women he had met after I changed due to the way he was treating me. Maybe he did, but maybe he was going to change anyway. Maybe after he got what he wanted, he was going to change. You just don't know, and that's why you have to really spend a lot more time with people um, before you jump in bed with them. And for some people that's weeks, for some people that's months, for some people that is years. You just really have to know the person, figure out how they've moved in their other relationships before you. Okay, somebody said he acts like your boyfriend and does all those things, but doesn't want to give you a title. What do I do? I don't know. Don't act like his girlfriend and give him none, because if he's already getting what he wants from you, then he has no benefit. There's no benefit for him changing your status and adding a responsibility to you. If a guy acts like your boyfriend and doesn't want a relationship, he's either using you for the emotional connection, and guys need emotional connections too. People always think guys just need physical connections, but guys need emotional connections. Guys use women for the mental stimulation of a pretend relationship, just like they use them for their bodies. It's less dishonorable to do it that way, and some guys do. Some guys really like to have a connection, but they don't want the responsibility. So you just have to be careful. Um, he might be inherently good. He might be a nice guy, but If you're acting like his girlfriend, then he has no reason to actually give you the title. And a guy that won't claim you or put a title on you, I don't care what people tell you. If a man won't give you a title, he won't give you his heart. He has not committed himself to the same idea that you have. So he might be a good guy. He might be a good guy, but you need more. Um, Let me see. Mm-mm. Wow. All right. See, my wife's up. After 10 years together, does a man ever think to get married? Man, I don't know. I've known people to get married after 10 and 15 years. Um, but no, I don't think I'll say this. A man clearly doesn't have marriage on his priority list after 10 years. If you want to get married, that's an issue that you will have to push. But no, if a man's not hasn't married you after 10 years, it doesn't mean he doesn't love you. He could love you to death, but clearly it's just not a thing that he's thinking about, or it's not on his list of priorities. He might not value marriage in the same way you do. Girls grow up thinking about marriage. Guys grow up thinking about, women, but, not, a lifelong, taking no lifelong vows. So it's just we grew up different. We have a different perspective. And if a guy hasn't married you in 10 years, it's not because he might not love you. It's just because it's just not a thing that's important to him. And he might be a little bit afraid of the financial ramifications of a failed marriage. Um, Truth says, you the man, thank you for answering my questions. Happy Easter. Thank you. Happy Easter. Um, how do you know if a man is just being an introvert or losing interest? Uh, that's a good one. I'm an introvert. I'm a serious introvert. Like I go like this week, I just needed space. I needed time. So after I got back from my little guys trip, I haven't been on YouTube or answered like comments for the most part all week. It's because sometimes I just need to kind of draw the energy from myself. I don't want to absorb any other energy. I'm big on energy, big on kind of getting my mental space and my spiritual space. So if a guy's losing interest, then he'll even as an introvert, if I'm dating someone, as long as I'm interested in them, I want to make sure that they know that everything's okay because I know I have the habit of drawing. I have the habit of kind of going away, or kind of leaving the safe space we built. I have a habit of going off to be alone in a sort of way, but as an introvert, being aware of my habit of doing that and my habit of making detaching myself from people, I always go out of my way if I'm really interested in somebody to let them know that, hey, everything's cool. I was just quiet. I felt like being quiet yesterday, or I felt like, being alone yesterday. Um, Again, I'm an introvert, not depression, but I'm an introvert. But so I guess if the guy's making an effort to let you know that you're still important and things are still okay, then he's just being an introvert. If a guy is making no effort to comfort you or to guide you through how he's processing being an introvert, then maybe he's losing interest. See, because a guy, you still care about what you care about. Being an introvert doesn't mean you just abandon people because you don't care about them. You still care about people, so you want people to understand that it's not them, it's you at that time. And so I guess if he makes an effort to try to comfort you through it, then he's just being an introvert. If he makes no effort at all to explain his process of going away or being alone, then he's just losing interest. How long does it take to meet his mom? It depends on the family structure and the family dynamic. Why do you say the name? What did you say is the name of your Pinterest page? I think my Pinterest name is Kev Hick 24 on Pinterest. Kev Hick 24. I have relationships, dating, sex, marriage, healthy relationship. I even put my videos on my Pinterest. If you go into relationship stuff and there's relationship videos, you can share my videos on Pinterest in the relationship. It says relationship stuff. And you go in that board and there's relationship videos and there are all my videos. You can share my videos, share anything that you like on my Pinterest page. It really helps my website. I'm gonna kick my website into high gear in a minute. Like I said, when I get this exercise equipment downstairs, I'll be using my lunch breaks to write blogs and YouTube videos. So I'll be having my videos up every week, sometimes even multiple times a week again. So I'm really excited about the workflow change. But at the same time, that Pinterest really helps my website get views. I get way more views from Pinterest followers coming over to my YouTube than I do from YouTube going over to my blog. I might have 20 or 25 people a day come over to my blog from YouTube, but I'll have a few hundred Pinterest views a day just from sharing my blogs on Pinterest. So if you're on Pinterest and you have a lot of followers, please share my stuff on Pinterest. It really helps a lot. Also, like I said, what I'm calling the Love Collection will be on sale probably next week. I have to. I got a technical difficulty I'm trying to work out, but the t-shirts will be Love with Your Brains coming out, Love Wisely, I think Love Your Neighbor, and Love something else. But I'm in a loving mood right now. So at girltalkwithguys.com, in about a week, I'll announce it in my next YouTube video right before I release the t-shirts. You can go buy a t-shirt and support my household and support my channel and support my goal of being full-time. With all that said, I got to get up off of here. We better start our day. I think I'm gonna take my little son to an Easter egg hunt. Uh, let him see these bunnies lay eggs. See, on the video, I normally edit this part out, but I'm about to hit end stream right now. Yes, end stream.